I would like to start by giving you my reactions to the feedback that we got regarding e-engagement. That's the first chapter of our paper. I'd like to say that I am very, very encouraged by a very positive response that we have received on this chapter. I have not been able to detect, a serious disagreement that is a way we ought to go for Singapore, whereby all the different stakeholders, members of the public, institutions, government, should make better use of cyberspace, to take public policy deliberations forward. I do not detect serious disagreement on that issue. In fact, on the contrary, we received quite a number of ideas on how we can, to use jargon, concretize, translate this idea of e-engagement into actual practice. In fact, a few days ago, we received a very considered paper online by a group of people who call themselves social media activists. I'm afraid I don't know what that means, but they call themselves social media activists. So not just academics, but also PR professionals and bloggers and so on. And they have come up with some very thoughtful, constructive ideas about how we can translate this idea of e-engagement. For example, they say that, look, the civil service, got to reorient the thinking and get in shape, to engage online. Another suggestion is that, why not create a virtual homeland, where you can have a serious discussion on public policy issues. Then they also say that, the way got to be found to encourage the government to go into that space to engage. And there's also a suggestion that amongst the netizens, they should come up with a code of practice that can guide discussion online. I think personally that if they can achieve that, preferably without government involvement, that would be a very major step forward. And it will go quite a long way, in my view, to assure people who are now very hesitant. And here I'm talking about I'm not referring to government, I'm referring to people who want to go into the net, but who are fearful of going to cyberspace because they are afraid of being slammed. I think you might have heard recently about a case of a young woman professional, who was so traumatized by her experience online that in fact she wrote to us. She said, "You want to liberalize, fine, but please bear in mind, interests of people like us, who was traumatized by our cyberspace experience, to the extent that we have to deal with threats to our safety." So that's chapter 1. I would like to start